And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get ready for our third race of the debut season of the NNSCRA Almond Joy Series. We are getting ready to go racing here at the speedy racetrack of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a track where it can hold them 3, sometimes even 4 wide, and we should be in for a really good one here today, coming off the heels of an exciting race weekend last week at Rockingham, UK, and these drivers are all chasing one specific driver, and that is the guy that's actually going to be rolling off from good track position again today, 6th place. That is the points leader and 2-time winner already this season, Matthew Dallio, winning the Daytona race and then following it up last week with his second win of the season at Rockingham, United Kingdom. We'll see what he can do here today at Las Vegas, but Elijah Gordon lines up on the pole position for today's race alongside of John Andrews. Row 2 comprised of Zachariah Hall and Colin Denton. So we'll see what we can see out of Matthew Dallio here today. Dallio, of course, the points leader, but we got a new second place driver in the points, and that is Nick Gunther. So we'll keep an eye on the 11 during the course of this race as well. This race is going to definitely come down to track position, but it's one of those kind of racetracks where it's very draft reliant, and we can see a lot of drivers who start near the rear of the field for this race work their way up towards the front in the closing stages. 27 laps here today. Not a super whole lot of time, but definitely enough time for a driver to work their way from the back to the front. Without further ado, though, let's go down trackside and get the most famous words in motorsports.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And there is the command to fire them up. Hopefully this time we don't have anybody have any mechanical problems coming off of pit road. Of course, last week at Rockingham, UK, Nick Johnson was on the pole position for that race and didn't even get to take the green flag. So looks like at least up at the front, the drivers there are good to go. They were all able to fire the race cars and roll off of pit road. We'll have to take a look here on the back straightaway and see if anybody encountered any preliminary issues before we go green. Very difficult camera view there to be able to see, as we've got all the fans with their motor homes and campers in the infield. And we'll look here towards the back, and it looks like everybody's good to go. There's Nick Gunther starting way at the back here with Caitlin Sang and Jeffrey Finguy, Davey Johnson, Cody Smart. Chevy Corvette pace car will make the left-hand turn to pit road, and we'll get ready to go racing for 27 laps here. How soon will these drivers feel it necessary to go 3 and 4 wide? We're about to find out. Elijah Gordon, John Andrews bring us down. Green flags out. We're underway at Las Vegas. Elijah Gordon got a good jump. He'll take the lead going into 1. Zachariah Hall going to follow there in line into 2nd. Morris Studemeyer Jr. in the 88. Now moving up to the 3rd spot, and the battle is on for the lead. Here comes Hall for the top position. And he will take it out of turn number 4. First lap led of his career, Zachariah Hall, here at Las Vegas, leads lap 1. And we may have had an incident. The caution flag is not out, but the 98, the 98's coming off pit road. That is Mike Becker coming off the pit lane. He was a full 20 seconds back crossing the line, so apparently had to make a pit stop for something. Unscheduled, I would assume. I don't know if he's still on the lead lap or not. We'll document that as soon as we can, as we got the battle on for 3rd. That is Benny Watson on the high side, and he's getting passed by Ryan George and Tyler Merkel there on the inside line. William Brock in the 3, also in that vicinity. And George will clear for the position. Ryan George will actually be taking part in the Hershey's Cup Series race here tomorrow as well, as he qualified for the race in the 91 in that series. So trying to show that he's going to be a force to reckon with once they go green in that event. And now here comes Tyler Merkel down to the inside for that 3rd spot. Down the back straightaway is up ahead. Morris Studemeyer Jr. is looking for an opportunity to get by Zachary Hall. Takes a look to the bottom coming out of 4. Can't make the move this time at least. Back here we'll follow the battle for 3rd again. Merkel will take the 3rd position. move Ryan George back to 4th. And here comes Benny Watson, who had a solid top 10 run last week at Rockingham, UK, now into the 5th position, taking the spot away from William Brock. Brock now falls back into the 6th position, but he may lose that to Brooke Allen. Allen to the inside in the 0 Reynolds Wrap Chevrolet. And then you've got Angel Navarro there, now currently running in the 9th position. Make that 8th, and the pole sitter Elijah Gordon has fallen back now to the 9th spot, but now trying to fight his way back up towards the front once again. Jump back up to the front, see if Studemeyer Jr. has been able to do anything with Zachariah Hall. So far, not able to. Might have to make a move pretty soon, because here comes 3rd, 4th, 5th place. Markle, George, and Watson making their way up towards this battle for the lead. Studemeyer Jr., it's not like she's not trying to pass, but it's like can't pass. I believe it's, well, no, actually, no, I think it is a male. I don't know exactly, but here's the battle for the lead. Studemeyer Jr. to the inside of Zachariah Hall. Inside line. Had a lot of drafting help there, but then went away, broke up. Now it's back again. Markle down on that inside line. He'll move into the 2nd position as Studemeyer Jr. will head out in front and is about to lead his first lap of his Almond Joy career. And while these 5 were battling, William Brock is now in the vicinity as well. He's just jumped up into that 6th spot, and now he's looking to fight his way into the top 5 as they almost went 3 wide for the 4th position there for a moment. Thought better of it. Settled it back out to double wide. And Amoris Studemeyer Jr. is now out in front here at Las Vegas. What about our points leader, Matt Dallio? Where is he currently at right now? 2-time winner this season. And wow, he has dropped like a rock. Where the heck is he? There he is. And he's losing more spots. Caught on that high side. He's actually now behind Nick Gunther, so this is going to allow Nick Gunther at this point in time to reel in Matt Dallio for the points lead. And now it looks like Dallio has gotten back down to the inside, but he crossed the line the last time by in the 34th position. That's 34 out of 40 cars. As Grayson Acavito now put in the middle 3 wide there with Jay Jefferson and John Anders in the 44, who started on the outside of the front row. He's dropped a long ways back, almost to the tail end of the field. We'll go back up to the front of the field, though. That is where you find the battle on for the lead. Ben Watson to the inside of Amoris Studemeyer Jr. The 88 and the 89 side by side. Watson still there on the inside line, heading through 3 and 4. Keep in mind, a win could mean a spot in the chase for the championship. There will be 12 drivers battling in the chase at the end of the year. All these drivers know this could be their opportunity to do just that. Get a trip to victory lane and lock themselves up a spot to battle for a championship once the regular season is over. It's still side by side for the lead. Watson on the inside, Studemeyer Jr. on the outside. Give the spot out of 4 to Watson in the 89. Here comes Zachariah Hall, though, trying to get back to the front. Tyler Markle up in this mix, William Brock as well. There's a couple new faces right up here in this group as well that we weren't talking about earlier, but they've caught up, including Ryan George. And how about Colin Denton in the 1 car now in the mix as well, in the One Ming Financial Chevrolet. There's another driver there as well that might be able to reel these guys in, and that is Richard Johnson. Right now, he is scored in the 8th position, but he is starting to reel in these drivers, as is Cody Hagan. Hagan's actually another driver, like Ryan George, who raced his way into the Hershey's Cup Series race in the knockout qualifying session. So having a good run here, and we might see something out of him when the green flag waves for our Hershey's Cup Series event here at Las Vegas. Meanwhile, up front, wow, Studemeyer Jr. has been losing a lot of spots in the last couple of laps. Was leading the race about 4 laps ago. Has now dropped all the way back to the 8th position. Move Richard Johnson up to 7th. As now he'll look for more. Going for the 6th position to the inside of Tyler Markle. And it looks like maybe some of these guys up here at the front may have used up their stuff early. Richard Johnson may have been hanging back as he's getting some nice runs on the inside on some of these drivers. As is Colin Denton, so these drivers might have been conserving a little bit, but we've had a battle for the lead, and it's now over. Zachariah Hall back to the top position, move Benny Watson back to 2nd. And now Ryan George in third will try and reel in the top two along with Colin Denton. Right now in the lead pack, we have a total of 8 drivers, from Zachariah Hall back to Studemeyer Jr. Cody Hagan is about 0.5 of a second back behind 8th position. Then you got to go quite a ways back before you get to a raging battle for 10th place, currently held by Jonathan Zorlein, but take a look at this. They are 3 wide for the spot. That's Jonathan Rains on the inside in the 46, Eric Hayden in the 18. Last week's runner-up DJ Curtis in the 33's in the mix. Last week's pole sitter Nick Johnson, Chris Dollerton, pole sitter Elijah Gordon, as well as Mitch Carter. And I believe that is Julio Cesar in the 90 at the tail end of this pack. I didn't get a good look, but I think that was the 90 machine. Might have been him. It might have been actually, yeah, well, it was him. And it was also Justin Turner in the number 39, as well as Davey Johnson in the 05, also in this group. But as they continue to battle for this spot, they're losing ground to the lead pack. And speaking of lead pack, Cody Hagan has caught the lead pack. He's gotten around both Studemeyer Jr. and William Brock, move him up to 7th. Take a look at up here. We got a nice battle going on for 2nd place, but it's all going on behind the race leader, Zachariah Hall. Ryan George to the bottom, Benny Watson to high side. Watson will hang on to the spot, and Zachariah Hall has opened about a 0.5 second between himself and this raging battle for the 2nd position. Watson now looks like he may clear it, keep the 2nd spot, and now the battle will be on for 3rd. Richard Johnson trying the high side on Ryan George. Colin Denton, Tyler Markle, and Cody Hagan will go 3 wide. That's for the 5th spot. William Brock waited in the wings, seeing what happens there. And can you believe it? We got 7 laps to go right now. The laps have ticked down. In our Almond Joy Series history so far, in these 3 races, we've only had 1 caution flag. Last week's race at Rockingham UK, we had none. We had 1 at Daytona. That's been it. We've gone clean and green here today at Las Vegas, and we may have a battle for the lead before this race is over. Zachariah Hall has the spot, but Benny Watson is trying to close in. We got Benny Watson running a slightly higher groove there, gets him a nice run out of the corner, crosses over to the inside line heading into 3. Can he make the move? Not quite. Got himself a nice run there down the back straightaway though, and he is right on the rear deck lid of the Flex Seal Chevrolet. When does Watson make the move? If he can make the move. 5 laps to go, and Ryan George begins to close in now. That time Watson running a little bit lower, did not get as good a run out of the center of the corner, and loses a little bit of ground to Zachariah Hall. Ryan George now up in the thick of this as well. It could be a 3-car fight for the victory. Maybe 4 if Richard Johnson can get up here to the back bumper of Ryan George, but right now he's in a bit of a tussle with Tyler Markle and Colin Denton trying to clear those 2 and get up into this fight for the win. 3.5 laps to go. 3 drivers up at the front that haven't won yet this season and would love to. Richard Johnson has cleared for 4th. Now he could be in the mix as well. All 4 cars, the top 4, separated by less than a second. 7/10 to be exact, with 3 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Zachariah Hall, Benny Watson, Ryan George, Richard Johnson. Which one of these 4 is going to find victory lane at Las Vegas? Watson is losing touch with Hall. He's getting reeled in by Ryan George. George, in turn, is getting reeled in by Richard Johnson. The battle is on for 3rd. Johnson to the inside of Ryan George. 2 laps to go. Watson trying to run a little bit higher groove again than Zachariah Hall. Almost ran in Hall's tire tracks as Richard Johnson clears for the 3rd position. This time by, they will receive the white flag as Benny Watson tries to close the gap up between himself and Zachariah Hall. He may have done so. Only a car length lead. White flag displayed for Zachariah Hall. Watson, will he make a move here into 1? Watson trying to keep close. He loses a little bit of ground, still about a car length between himself and Zachariah Hall. Can he make a move down here into 3? Here comes Richard Johnson looking for second. Watson tries to hold him off, and it will be Zachariah Hall holding them all off. Out of 4 for the final time. Zachariah Hall wins his first race of the season here today at Las Vegas. Strong race car. As soon as he got out in front, he slipped back a little, fought his way back to the front again, and Zachariah Hall will take his first checkered flag of the season here in the Almond Joy Series, and maybe, potentially, a chase spot in the chase for the championship later on this season. And Matthew Dallio's winning streak ends at 2. Zachariah Hall becomes the second driver this season to find victory lane in the Almond Joy Series. Got awfully close there at the end, but Zachariah Hall, he would allow Benny Watson to get to his back bumper, but not to his left rear. Taking away the ideal racing line and hanging on for his first victory of the season. Here's the way they finish. Zachariah Hall with the win. Benny Watson gets second. A great run to follow up his top 10 run last week. Richard Johnson, how about him? He was outside of the top 10 midway through this race, fought his way all the way up to 3rd place. Ryan George will get 4th. Tyler Markle there in 5th. Studemeyer Jr. had a strong car all day, finished 6th. Cody Hagan in 7th. Eric Hayden will finish the day in 8th rather. 9th for Jonathan Zorlin, and completing your top 10 was William Brock. Colin Denton, Jonathan Rains, Carmichael Jazin, Jesse Turner, and Julio Cesar complete your top 15. Nick Johnson, nice run after the heartbreak he had last week at 16th. DJ Curtis, 17th. Elijah Gordon, the pole sitter, fell all the way back to finish 18th. Grayson Acavito and Mitchell Carter will finish out the top 20. How about a couple of drivers that came in 1st and 2nd in the points? Nick Gunther, 23rd today, and the points that are coming to this race, Matthew Dallio finishes in the 26th position. We ended up having one driver finish off the lead lap. That was Mike Becker due to an unscheduled pit stop. You can see on down there a number of drivers finishing really poorly here today that were running somewhat well in the point stands, including Paul Minnick, Kev Shearer, also Caitlin Sang. So we'll see how that's going to shape up the point standings heading into next week. But we got to finish off this race weekend at Las Vegas, as we'll cap the weekend off with the 3rd race of the season for the Hershey's Cup Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Once again, congratulations to Zachariah Hall on the victory here today at Las Vegas. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. You are currently looking at your point standings heading into next week, which, if memory serves me correctly, we're going to Bristol Dirt. That should be exciting. Our first dirt track race of the season. It'll be interesting to see what these drivers do in these cars in this series at that racetrack. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We will see you guys next time, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.